What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you on Palantir. Pretty interesting day. There's a hell of a lot of things influencing the stock price. I want to go over all of them and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So as it stands, it is down 6.37%. Feds just came out with their meeting minutes, and in my opinion, at least just the preliminary review of that, seems to be very optimistic. So of course that's kind of how the market is bouncing back a little bit, but still there's a hell of a lot of things that is influencing Palantir stock price today. Starting off with some positive news. So it does look like the NHS did award Palantir the contract. So this has been kind of in limbo for a while, but they were awarded that 600 million contract. A lot of articles coming out about that. So obviously with it going down, it is fair to assume that was already factored into the stock price. But there's a lot more. So as you can see, there was a couple analyst ratings that did come down the pipeline. One from Rishi from RBC Capital did give a sell rating and a $5 price target, which is kind of extreme. You also did have Louis that did reiterate their sell rating from William Blair. So once again, adding a little bit of grayness, especially considering anyone looking at any of the technicals on Palantir, all are signaling that it is very much overbought on a lot of different fronts. So of course I'll touch on that. And then finally, good old 𝗪𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧. So based on this, it was a 144 that was submitted that does show his intention to sell 325,000 shares. Of course, you can kind of see he does have a ton of other shares, which is beside the point, but typically whenever a member, so an insider, CEO, or whatever else, does sell, it is a little bit more of a hit towards the sentiment a little bit. And especially based on this, there has been a lot of selling when it comes down to Palantir, and it all is transaction code S. It doesn't have Alex's new ones because there was no form 4 submitted. There was only a 144 showing his intention to do that sale, but in reality we don't know. It might be tax purposes, kind of extreme for tax purposes, but who knows. Overall, not necessarily the best when it comes down to that. And plus this chart right here kind of puts it into perspective a little bit better, because you can kind of see easily the large amount of sales that have been occurring with Palantir. So once again, a lot of different things influencing Palantir's stock price all at once, but regardless though, Palantir has been doing very, very well. So I'm going to start going over some data points and just breaking it down for you. So while I'm on Ortex, I'll go over the short information. I've said this in the past when I've covered Palantir. I definitely do not see Palantir being a short squeeze play. I'm just using this as a benchmark, so just be aware of that. But despite a lot of the volatility and everything else, shorts are returning 1.66 million shares. 7.16% of the free float is being shorted. 138.71 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 0.1, extremely low. It is to note though, kind of interesting, cost to borrow minimum is negative. So there's a broker out there physically paying people to short Palantir, so that's kind of odd. But still, as it stands through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate that there's more than around 10 million shares available to be shorted. So if shorts really did feel Palantir didn't have upside possibly, then they would be massively doubling down on Palantir. So once again, this information right here is very bullish. Looking at options activity, that's factoring in everything today, around $33 million in calls being purchased versus 12 million in puts. So based on this information, once again, is very bullish. A lot of people are anticipating for it to trend up. For looking at the specific calls though, this shows all the strike prices, expiry dates. Based on this information, it is anticipated to be above around $20 by the end of next week. Looking at the puts though, it is anticipated to be sub 1850. So kind of both extremes when it comes down to that. But let's talk on some technicals, shall we? So looking at the 4 hour, so with it at $19.94, so a lot of volatility. It is currently trading between this S1 and the pivot. So $20.13 is right now the next strong resistance. I do feel that throughout the day, or I guess leading into power hour shortly, it will actually continue to trade between this P and the R1, but that's just my own speculation for that, because I feel like like with the Fed meeting minutes, a lot of people are trying to digest that. And my preliminary review of that is very optimistic, but $19.63 is going to be that next strong support. And depending on where it lands, $20.62 is going to be the next strong resistance. But over the last little bit, Palantir has really flexed what it can do for the broader economy. Alex, obviously in charge, is definitely very key, but the fact that he did sell, the analysts not really seeing Palantir's full potential, is causing a little bit more of a drag on the market right now. And just quickly looking up Palantir on this, just to go over some additional data points. Number of retail investors are getting out today. Looking at stochastic, it is at 91, which is considered extremely overbought. So I think today is going to be also incorporating more of a consolidation as well, but you do see the start of a bearish sentiment, so red line above the black. So in reality, just to summarize, the options activity is very optimistic, bullish. Short information, using this as a benchmark, is very bullish, and based on the technicals, it is considered a little bit, and not necessarily just a little bit, it is considered very overbought. So potentially in that regard, it does need to consolidate and push down a little bit, but still a bigger picture, that's still very healthy for technicals and whatever else. And just quickly going back over here to Interactive Brokers, just wanted to show you the technicals and based on the Elliott wave, what it is projecting. As long as it can stay above $17.80, it is anticipated to get between the $24.90 range and $26.40. So obviously, I think there is a lot more upside that can be had. I know there's going to be a lot of people probably very bearish on Palantir starting today, despite the NHS news. But again, based on the technicals, it does and could go up. And so today might be just a consolidation along with a lot of the other news. So hopefully tomorrow on forward, bigger things might be coming. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you are looking for also a lot of good compiled information, such as analyst ratings, forecasts, technicals, and whatever else, and especially analyst forecasts for upcoming earnings, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this to be completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. So give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing? As well, for those of you that are doing options, what expiry date are you picking? Especially considering, I think more so the later part of 2024, not really many people are doing any options, which is kind of weird. So what's your viewpoint on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, there's also another good promo with Moomoo. So just sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is an amazing promo. Plus any cash that you do have in this account, you're also going to be earning 5.1% APY. So this is an amazing promo. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.